First to my assistant coach, Coach Kavanaugh. She's been a former player here. She played 4 years of softball at Columbia College, so she's very knowledgeable about the game. She helped me, she helped our team, and she was a big part of our success this year. And also a big thank you to all our parents for everything that they did all summer, driving their kid to several different places for our games, as well as running the concession stand at the ball field for fundraisers, and just doing all that stuff, putting up signs, making sandwiches. Our parents are a big part of our program, and I just want to thank them. I'll first talk a little bit about our JV season. We were 5-3. We had 3 ties there. I thought we were very competitive. This year we were close in every game. I think Brookfield got us pretty good there one game, but everything else is pretty close. Girls worked hard every day at practice. You know, some of them may not get the recognition that the varsity team does, but they never complained. They showed up, knew what they needed to do, and hopefully next year some of those girls will step up and help our varsity. At this time, I'll hand out the participation awards. Coach Kavanaugh will hand out the participation award. Anna Klum, I don't believe Anna's here tonight. Claire Doral. Heather Majors. And Maddie Pate. Girls also voted on a JV MVP. This girl's a nice kid, a hard worker, and very deserving. The JV MVP award goes to Kate Piper. Kate, they got a plaque for you. Move on to our varsity, a little bit about our season. We were 15-7. We were 3-2 in the conference, which got us second place. We had some big wins this year. First win was against Putnam County. Nobody on our team had ever beaten a Putnam County team, so that was a good accomplishment for us. We won the Brunswick tournament for the second year in a row. We took consolation at the Cairo tournament. We also had some big wins there at the end of the year against Macon, Paris. We got a game-winning hit there to beat Paris, give them their first conference loss, which was good. And then beating South Shelby on senior night. That was a good way to send our seniors out with a win. So at this time, also, all of our losses this year came to teams that were playing in a district championship game. So we lost to some good teams, and we're competitive in a lot of games. And hopefully next year we can build on that and have a successful season next year. Our varsity letters start with the freshman, Kate Piper. Our sophomores, Sydney Brooks. And Morgan McCormick. And I'm sure Morgan's already started on pitching for next year. Juniors, Hannah Doral. Abby Gauthier. Madison McCormick. And Andrea Pyatt. I'll talk a little bit about our seniors here. First one is Taylor Inyard. Taylor was a 4-year participant in softball. She was an all-conference player for 3 years, an all-district player for 3 years. She was an all-region player for 1. Taylor was our pitcher, and probably a lot of extra pressures put on pitchers in the game of softball. I thought Taylor handled it very well. She was probably more positive than I was at times this year. but nothing ever seemed to really bother her out on the mound. She just kept pitching, and I know she put a lot of time in with her dad, throwing during the summer and the spring and everything, and it really paid off for her. She's been a good player for us the last 4 years. Next senior is Allison Wigman. Allison's a little under the weather tonight, but she gutted it out. Allison has also been a 4-year participant in softball. She's been an all-conference player for 2 years, an all-district player for 2 years. Allison, I guess still unofficially, last year set the stolen base record at Marceline with 34. Her mom might question that. But this year she had 38 in 38 attempts. I've never had a player even come close to doing that on our teams. The last 2 years she stole 72 bases out of 74 attempts, which is very good. Every time she got on base, I would definitely, I wouldn't even have to give her a sign. She should just know to steal. So, also Allison, sometime this week, don't know a date yet, will sign with Central Methodist University to play softball next fall. Next senior is Molly Meissen. Molly's also been a 4-year participant. She's played on the varsity the last 2 years. She had a bigger role in the varsity this year. The one thing I have a lot of respect for with Molly, she was a good leader for us. At practice, she spoke up. She was, she encouraged her teammates. She always told them to make good throws before we started so they didn't have to run. I know they like doing that. Molly was also one of those that came to everything extra that we did. In the summer, on the Sunday nights that we hit, Molly would always come in. She would also, during the season, come in, hit, take fly balls, do whatever she needed to do to make herself a better player, and I really have a lot of respect for her for doing that. Thank you, Molly. Sierra Nelson. Sierra was also a 4-year participant in softball. She played varsity the last 2 years. Again, Sierra, similar to Molly, never complained. Always had a good attitude, always did what she needed her to do. She had to play outfield for our varsity, and she also was our catcher on the JV team. Sierra's always somebody, that I could say, hey, do this, and she'll go do it, and never question it, at least to my face. But Sierra also, I want to also say that Sierra put a lot of extra time in as well. She came in and hit throughout the summer, on the Sunday nights that we hit, just hitting, taking fly balls, doing everything that she needed to do. A lot of respect for doing that. Thank you, Sierra. And our last senior, Samantha Wright. Samantha was also a 4-year participant in softball. She played on our varsity team the last 2 years. Again, she had the opportunity to start this year at first base. I thought Samantha did a very good job there. She improved. She did whatever she needed to do to help our team win. And she'll definitely be best for next year, and she did a good job for us this year. Samantha Wright. This time would like to mention our postseason honors. These are girls that made all conference, all district, or all region. First one is Taylor Enyart. Taylor made first team all conference and second team all district. Allison Wigman. She made first team all conference and first team all district. Abby Gauthier. Abby made first team all conference and second team all district. Madison McCormick. Madison made first team all conference, first team all district, and second team all region. Morgan McCormick. Morgan made first team all conference, first team all district, first team